Hi, I'm Steve Mednick. I'm a professor of entrepreneurship at the Lloyd Greif Center for Entrepreneurial Studies, Marshall School of Business at the University of Southern California. Over the last 2 years, in addition to my teaching, I've had the opportunity to be a TriTech Small Business Development Center consultant. I've worked with hundreds of businesses, and the same issues keep coming up: a lack of money, but a desire to move forward. Because of my experiences not only in teaching, but working with these entrepreneurs, I've developed a presentation on bootstrapping, your ability to execute in the marketplace using your resources. Let's get started. The definitive source for everything is Wikipedia, right? Wikipedia says bootstrapping is the avoidance of using outside resources. All right, fine. What I think bootstrapping is the right mindset. The mindset that I'm going to use my resources, those resources that are available to me, as well as having a hair on fire mentality. I've got to keep moving forward. I've got a passion. The time is now. Let's get started. So where are we when we think about bootstrapping? We've gone from multiple ideas to a single idea to the start. You're at the start. It's time to move forward. You're through analyzing. The ideas are behind you. Let's get going. First thing we got to think about is we've got to think about execution. Did you know that businesses succeed or fail more times than not because of their ability or inability to execute? We've got to think about executing in the marketplace, and we're going to use bootstrapping techniques to do just that. Okay, what are the bootstrapping typical resources for us? First of all, our piggy bank. Some piggy banks are small, some are very large. Ours is what it is, right? Second, our home. Home mortgages are typically not available to us like they have been in the past. That's okay. Family and friends, of course they're going to invest in you. They're going to give you a check because they know you, they love you. We're going to keep that in mind, but the reality is we're going to focus on what we have. The other thing we got to think about is we may or may not be able to get a loan, and we got to evangelize. We got to realize that there are sources out there, but we're going to focus on our own resources. So let's get started. First thing is time management. Where are you going to spend your time? As opposed to thinking about spending time on outside resources, let's think about resources within our control. We're going to spend time on growing the business. Remember, it's all about execution. Second, let's set our priorities straight. It's all about the customer. Without a customer, we're not in business. Everything we do, everything we say, all of our activities are customer focused. If we drive customer value, we will be successful. Let's think about that always. The second thing is, let's not fool thyself. Let's not worry about what we don't have. Let's focus on what we do have, embrace it, and move forward. The next thing is personal commitment. Let's erase the hands of the clock. It's 24/7. Entrepreneurs, we don't sleep. Our minds are constantly working. We're bootstrapping. We're moving forward. We're thinking of the customer. The hands are gone. Sunday morning, Saturday night, we don't care. We're always thinking about it. The next thing is we've got to get out and network. Staying at home watching TV does us no good. We've got to get out there and meet people. The more people we meet, the more opportunities that we have to move us forward. We've got to connect with both the industry and the market. Our product and service come out of a particular industry. Our customers are comprised of various markets. We've got to understand what's going on, what are the changes. Let's find out from the analysts, the news reporters, people that keep a beat. Let's connect with potential business partners. They also know what's going on. Our suppliers, our distributors, we're developing an ecosystem around us. Let's talk to competitors if we can. In fact, sometimes our competitors can become alliance partners. Let's think from an innovative standpoint as to what we can do to deliver that customer value. Of course, there are other service providers that work with our customers, that work with our service providers. Let's tap them. The reality is entrepreneurs don't do it alone. Let's move forward. First thing we got to think about is you start small and you scale. Let's focus on that first customer. Without a first customer, we're not in business. Once we have that first customer and we deliver value, we'll start thinking of multiple customers, single product, multiple products, multiple customers. But let's start with that first step, revenue, profitable revenue. We've got to think in terms of customers and profitable revenue. If you're not profitable, you won't stay in business. Your customers expect you to be profitable. Don't give it away. We've got to sell prepaid licenses. If we're talking about staying in business, if we're talking about bootstrapping using our own resources, what we may have to do is sell something, get a deposit in advance. From a license perspective, it may be a prepaid license. From a hardware perspective, it may be a deposit. Let's sell from a tactical perspective. Strategic may take too long. Remember now, we're bootstrapping. We've got to understand what's available to us. We're not fooling ourselves. We've got to think about leasing equipment rather than buying. We've got to ask for favors. The reality is we're an early stage business. If we can deliver incredible value to a customer, the customer may in fact participate with us, helping us out by giving us deposits, advance payments. In fact, entrepreneurs sweep the floors, they wash the windows, they take the garbage out. You've got to do everything. It's a part of being an entrepreneur. It's the joy of launching your business with a customer focus. It can get you there. Entrepreneurial selling. Some of you probably don't have a sales background. You may come out of manufacturing, you may come out of finance. The reality is you've got to be your best salesperson. You've got to be the evangelist, the industry expert. Maybe somewhere down the road you'll be able to hire salespeople. Right now, if you look to your left or you look to your right, there aren't people there that can help you. You've got to be the person, you've got to practice. The goal is to get that first customer, correct? And then multiple customers. You've got to have that customer mindset. Learn how to stand out from the crowd. Practice. Do this in networking groups. Ask people for help. Conduct sales calls. Learn from the sales calls. The reality is you've got to be the salesperson. Guerrilla marketing. We don't have the budgets to put display ads, to do TV commercials. We've got to figure out a way to do things from an innovative standpoint. Use some of the online tools, whether it's YouTube or some of the other social media websites. Get your name out there. Find a way to connect with people so you can grow in a viral fashion. It can be done. Remember now, we're bootstrapping. You also have to connect with those that are service providers, hardware providers, software providers in your marketplace. If you think about it from the customer's perspective, what's a solution to them? In fact, you may not have the entire solution. Some of the other partners that you can work with may not have the entire solution as well. If you combine forces together, you may be able to deliver the solution the customer wants. This gives you a track record with some well-established companies. Remember now, it's customer success, delivering value. Team up with others in your industry. Without getting negative, we got to think about preparing for the worst. If we don't have enough runway, we don't have enough opportunity to really learn about the customer solutions and to develop the relationships. We've got to make sure from a cash flow perspective, we got to think in terms of timing of cash to give ourselves enough runway. If we don't, it's a closing down sale. It doesn't do you any good, it doesn't do your customers any good. Always manage that cash flow. Stay on top of things. A few final words. You got to be daring. You got to be different. Be delightful. Show the passion. And don't forget, the answers are out there. All you got to do is ask. Thanks for watching. See you out there on the entrepreneurial highway.